Once you've created your account, you will land on the Administration Dashboard page. One of the key features of the site is the Administration Dashboard. This is where you'll go to monitor your students, create assessment plans, and add students to the site. After you first activate your account, this table will be blank. To add a new student, you will click the Add Students button, which will take you to the Manage page. From here, you will click Add Student and then enter all relevant information for your first student. This includes the student ID, email, and school name, which are all required fields, as well as the student's first name, last name, and phone number, which are optional but helpful fields to use. Once you've entered this information, you will click the Submit button. From the Manage page, you will be able to edit, archive, and delete students. Returning to the Admin Dashboard area, you will be able to see your first student in the Admin Dashboard table. This table allows you to view the student's student ID, name, email, school, and assessment plans, as well as take actions for each student. Since an assessment plan has not yet been created for this student, the last two columns appear blank. To create a new assessment plan, check the box beside your student's student ID, and then click the Create Assessment Plan button. This will populate the instrument library, which houses social-emotional or SE assessments for K-12 students. Each instrument card will display detailed information about each assessment and will provide a button to add the assessment to your assessment plan. Clicking Learn More will open a summary document for your chosen assessment. This document will provide an overview of your assessment, general instructions, scoring, and any psychometrics data available for the assessment. At the end of this document, you will find a basic copy of the assessment, including the instructions, questions, and response options. Before clicking the Add to Collection button, you can use the filters along the side to find relevant assessments for your student. For example, you can find all assessments related to the Self-Management CASEL domain, the Self-Discipline Social-Emotional skill, and the 3rd/4th grade level. These combined filters will result in just one resource, the Core District's SEL Survey for Self-Management. To add this assessment to your assessment plan, click Add to Collection. You can also use the search bar to find specific assessments of interest. To do so, first, clear the filters, and then type the appropriate word or phrase into the search bar. In this example, typing Emotion Expression Scale will display all assessments related to that search. To be consistent with the prior assessment selected, you can add the 3rd to 4th grade version of the assessment to the collection. Once all relevant assessments have been added to your cart, you can click the Review button to review your selections and customize your assessment plan. The first step is to provide a name for your new assessment plan. In this example, the assessment plan will be named Brief SE Assessment for 3rd/4th graders. The next step is to customize your first time point, that is, the first time data is collected. To do so, click the Configure button and then update the time point name. In this example, we will name it Initial SE Assessment. You may also want to change the order the assessments will appear to students by dragging the tiles, and determine whether to allow each assessment to appear for students during that time point by toggling them on or off. Since this is the first time point, we will leave the Offset in Days field at 0. Click Save to return to the Manage Assessment Plan window. The last step is to set up an additional time point if it is needed for your assessment plan. To do so, click the Add Time Point button. Again, you can configure this time point so that it has a particular name. We will name this one to reflect a 2-week follow-up assessment. Since we want to wait 2 weeks in between the first time point and the second time point, the offset value should be changed to 14 days. After saving the new time point, you will want to review your assessment plan and make any final adjustments. When finished, click Submit. When you return to the admin dashboard, you will be able to see the new assessment plan name and action buttons for that student. The Student Contacts button allows you to add a teacher contact for your student. You will enter the name and email for your student's teacher and click Submit. The Administration button allows you to view the assessment plan assigned to the student and to administer the chosen assessments to the student. Within the Administration window, you can view the assessment plan name, student name, and key information about each assessment plan. You are also able to view the time point name, reporter, that is the person taking the survey, such as a student or teacher, student email address, assessment links, messaging, and progress. Each row represents a time point created for that assessment plan. For the initial time point, you can immediately launch the assessment or take the assessment as the student. The Launch Assessment button will log you out and allow a student to view the assessments from your device and input data themselves. The Take Assessment as the Student button will open a new tab that will show you the assessments as though you were the student, so that you can input the student's data yourself. The Progress column shows just that, the progress your student has made for that time point so far. The status of a student's progress can be shown as Not Started, Incomplete, Complete, or Time Point Not Yet Open. The Messaging button allows you to send a message to your student directly from this page. The message will include a link for your student to use to take the assessment. You're able to edit every message you send to students. You can edit the email recipient, subject line, and the body of the email. The system will automatically add a button to the email for your student to click to access the assessment. For any follow-up time points, you will have to wait until the first time point is complete before you can launch those assessments or send messages. The Reports button will open a new page that displays a table containing your student's assessment data, as well as the student's ID, the assessment plan name, student's name, and school name. The table will show the data for all assessment items and any mean or summary score formulas. Each row represents a different time point, with the first row representing the data from the first time point and the second row representing the data from the following time point. If an assessment plan is created using multiple assessments, you can click the Query dropdown to view all possible assessments. In this example, you can see the Core Growth Mindset and Social Awareness assessments for 3rd through 4th grade students. You can click the hamburger icon in the top left area over the table to download a CSV copy of the data. The system will download the data only for the selected query. Every data table is accompanied by a Visualize button that will allow you to view your data within various charts. Each page will show the name of the assessment, the question number, and the scale at the top of the page. This information is followed by a chart showing student data entered over time, a summary table, and relevant information about the student and the assessment plan at the bottom of the page. The first page will show the scale means or summary scores for the selected assessment scale. In this example, you can see the Core Social Awareness scale across 2 time points. The chart shows that the student scored lower the first time they took the assessment, indicating an improvement over time. The remaining pages feature a chart depicting the chosen response option for each question in the assessment. In this example, the charts show the student's chosen response options for each of the 2 time points that the data were collected. The remaining action button in the Admin Dashboard table allows you to return to the instrument library to add or remove surveys from each assessment plan, as well as rename the assessment plan and/or time points, reorder the surveys, and change the offset time between time point 1 and any follow-up time points. As you collect SE assessment data from your students, you will have access to a range of resources. You will be able to view all assessments and summary documents available in the instrument library. You will also have access to lesson plans and professional development resources. These can be especially useful if you want to provide resources to the student's teacher. This completes the use case walkthrough of the SEL Quest product.